Well, resistance to interrogation. This follows on from combat survival. Before I go into that though, I'd like to talk about my YouTube channel, Rusty Firmin, SAS TV. Getting there, another 100 and so, I will have 10,000 subscribers. If you'd like to subscribe, then it's free. It'd be nice to get over the 10,000 mark tonight, or by tonight. So I thank you all once again and hope you're enjoying it. Keeps you up to date with what I'm doing. And of course, it's a bit of fun in the lockdown. And a lot of you think it is very interesting. So for that, I'll say thanks yet again. At the same time, this book is out. It's on my website. I'll go through that in a second. Go, go, go. Jamie Bell plays Rusty Firmin in the film 6 Days on Netflix, all about the embassy siege. My other book, The Regiment, 15 Years in the SAS. That, again, is on my website. And what I'm talking to you about over some of these videos I'm doing is actually in the book, but in more detail. So if you want that, all you've got to do is go to www.rusty-firmin.org/shop. Everything on there, including this print, the resolution, okay, all on my shop. Everything that I've got at home, I sign and send once you've ordered them. So it's simple. You fill out the form, I do the rest and get it off to you. So that's what I've got on the shop. So what I'm going to do now is go over to resistance to interrogation. Obviously, the combat survival one we did yesterday and the day before. Again, in a few minutes, you can't get the feeling of what it's actually like to go through that type of stuff that we went through. It's okay on a reality show. It's not like that. I'm sure you'll be able to tell me tomorrow when you've seen it tonight, for those of you who watch reality shows. However, when you think about it, I've done selection, a month hard work, over to the jungle, another best part of a month, hard work, body being run down all the time, straight back from there onto combat survival, which we've talked about, another few weeks, body getting worn down day by day by day. And of course, there's no rest for it. So after all of that, it's then time to complete the combat survival phase and then move straight into interrogation. Now, I had no idea how many of the lads were left, none whatsoever. I was at the training area when it wraps and the instructors say, right, that's the end of it. Okay, you now hand yourself in. Some guys got captured and their interrogation would have started earlier than ours. We saw it out to the very end. Taken one at a time, debriefed very quickly on what's going to happen next. And when I say quickly, it is quickly. They can't wait to get a blindfold on you, I can tell you that. And of course, yeah, a cup of tea or something. And then it was straight back to a training area, which I didn't know where we were going. Okay, we handed ourselves in. We are now under the permanent staff instructors, and it's now in their hands where they're going to take us. what I did realise is that there was a number of vehicles there, the Bedfords, so they were filling up rapidly with the likes of myself and a few of the other guys. Get blindfolded, instructors jump in the vehicles with you, so there's no talking, no nothing, silence. And then you're driven from the Welsh training area a couple of hours to start your interrogation, resistance to interrogation. Not quite know what to expect. It's the first for me at that time. Apprehensive. I knew what to say. I just hoped I could keep it down to the big four: number, rank and name, date of birth. That's it. Anything outside of that, you're leaving yourself open. I didn't know who the interrogators were going to be. What I did know is I had to prepare myself for 36 hours, 48 hours, I didn't know. But in that vehicle, you can bet your life what was running through my mind about how I was going to see this phase out. I had to get through it. No slip-ups, it's come a long way. Same as a lot of the lads have come a long way. So, up here, starting mentally preparing yet again for something else that's unknown to me. Can't talk to anybody because you're told to wrap up. That's exactly what you do. You sit there thinking all these different thoughts going through your mind. However, once we get there, you can hear people shuffling around, being taken off the vehicles, still with the blindfolds on, and obviously probably being moved into groups. I don't know, still to this day, I have no idea exactly how it worked. But suffice to say that it wasn't long before you can hear people talking, mainly the DS. And of course, you're into the adopt the position, stress position, against the wall. And you remain there, blindfolded. You can't see a thing. You can't really hear much apart from shuffling and people being moved around. I got the impression that was what was happening. And of course, you have these different interrogators in different parts of wherever we were. And over the next 36, 48 hours, we've been shuffled around, different positions. Anytime you moved, there was somebody there watching you, putting your hands back on the wall. So it wasn't easy, especially when I say you're tired, run down, wet and miserable. And it's a start point. So what do I remember? Apart from the tingling in my hands up against the wall, no movement. You know, it's just imagine standing still, nothing, can't see anything. You can hear, and you're not sure when it's your turn until you feel somebody will come and grab you on the shoulders, turn you around, and there'll be one or two, I got the impression that they'll be marching you towards somewhere, a room. But as I say, I didn't know where I was. If I did, it might have changed my outlook. I don't know, but I didn't. So off we went. And then the first one was, I remember going in there, and the interrogator is Mr. Nice Guy. You know, he's talking to you as a friend. He'll offer you cups of tea, what you can do if you just tell him some information, or maybe you write something down for him, which was a no-no. Talking to me was like talking to a brick wall. And as people say in this day and age, it still is at times. So what? So that's how it started. Spent a couple of hours up against the wall. I've now actually moved a little bit. I can feel the blood circulation going round. And I'm now in front of somebody who's asking me questions. Did I want a cup of tea? Yes. But all he got from me was my number, rank and name at any one time. That's it. No discussion with him. Nothing. It was just like, as I say, talking to a brick wall. So that lasted, I don't know, 30 minutes. I can't remember, I'll be honest. And of course, once they realise that you're not going to say anything, you're not going to do anything, you're probably boring them a little bit because they want to win. The trouble is, I wanted to win. And there was only going to be one winner. And that's what interrogation is all about. Then march back outside. Okay, back into a stress position. No change. You knew there was people around you. You can hear them. You can feel the shuffling. So they're obviously moving people at different intervals to different areas, different rooms, to different interrogators. And then, of course, it's my turn to go back in again. Thinking, oh, here we go. Not this time. This time it was a female interrogator. Asking personal questions about the size of your dick. Was I queer? That type of stuff. And what she could do for us if I'd give her some information. I make no bones about it. This is how it worked. Once again, being a female, of course, Rusty, with his imagination, is wondering, I wonder what she's wearing today. Keeping all that to myself. So she's asking me pertinent questions, and I'm just thinking, I won't mention the thoughts, but it was a way of beating the trap. And it worked for me. So yet again, that went on for quite a while. Once again, it was time to be marched out. Didn't get anything from me, nothing whatsoever. Back to the stress position on the walls. Horrible. Boring. But then I thought back. I remember when I was a school kid. Remember when you used to get sent into the corridor for being bad? Nobody would speak to you. A form of self-isolation. I spent more time in the corridors of the secondary modern school that I was at in Carlisle than most people spent in the classroom. I was in there all the time. So I likened it to that a little bit. I thought, you know what, I'm going to stand here and somebody's going to talk to me. I just don't have to say anything. Number, rank and name, date of birth. That's it. And that's all they got. That's all she got. And, so that was the second interrogation over with. Back to the corridors, back to stress positions. And this went on for quite a while. And of course, I remember after a number of hours again, you've had, Mr. Nice Guy, we've had the female, and now it's Mr. Nasty who's shouting and screaming and trying to make you belittle you, make you say something, or best you can you just write that down for me? Can you just sign that? Number, rank and name, date of birth. Number, rank and name, date of birth. And that went on and on and on. And it was the same for probably 36 to 48 hours. repetitive, almost boring at times, but so far I'd stuck to what I was going to go there and do. And that's all they ever got from me, number, rank and name. So finally, somebody comes up, one of the instructors, and they tell you, okay, that's it over, end X. And you can't speak to them because you don't know if it is end X or if they're trying to get you to say something or do something. However, once they've lifted the blindfolds and stuff, and you can actually see around, you can see other things that are happening. I realized exactly where I was then. I knew where I was, which I hadn't for all that time. Strange feeling. And then they take you away, and you get to find out if you passed or failed. Somewhere in there, you get a brew. Welcome, I've got to say. And you're not being tested there. You've finished. You've done your combat survival. You've done your escape and evasion. You've handed yourself in because you didn't get caught. And I didn't screw up on resistance to interrogation. I'm hoping now that I've got the ticks in the box. But anything in the regiment is possible. Sometimes the most unexpected things, something you might not even know, they will pick up on it. Trust me. Wily set of instructors. So the index has come. Yes, I had passed, I was told. There was no reason to think I'd failed. So what was it next? I was hoping, because I didn't have any more to do on SAS selection. I'd already qualified as a parachutist when I was in 2-9 Commando. I'd done my jumps. I'd qualified. So the people who had passed, the lads who passed, didn't matter where they came from, if they weren't already parachute trained, that was their next point of call. They would be going on that, which could last another couple of weeks to 3 weeks to 4 weeks. Very weather dependent is parachute training, or was in my day. So there they are. I know that I've passed mine. I've got my wings, my parachute wings, by the way, not the SAS wings yet, but the parachute wings, I've got them. So I knew that if I'd passed this, I didn't have to go and do another parachute course down at Bryce Norton. So we were then obviously asked what squadrons we wanted to go in. Not guaranteed, by the way. I was lucky that my squadron after Christmas was going to Northern Ireland. I didn't need to do my para course, so I asked for B Squadron, and I got B Squadron. And I remember when I got my green beret years before in the Commandos, a big ceremony, families, everything, the parade, beer, everything laid on for you. I thought, wonder what's going to happen now. Well, it didn't take me long. Once I'd met the Sergeant Major of the squadron, and of course Jerry and Mink and a couple of other guys that I was with, we got the same squadron, but better than that, we got the same troop. 8 troop. Big 8. And I got what I wanted and felt really good about it. And then there's no formal parade. I don't believe that the SAS can march. And I certainly wasn't up for marching. We were told to go over to the QM's department, the quartermaster's department, tell them who you were, tell them which squadron you were in, get your berry, get your stable belt, and then come back over and we'll give you a proper formal briefing. And that's exactly what happened. So From up here, I'm now down here watching everything that goes on now, because I've actually passed, and I've been told I've passed. I've got my stable belt. My wings will be on the way. I'll get them shortly. But I had come a long way in a short space of time, and I was knackered. So when you watch that program, maybe tonight, have a think when you look at them on there, any traces of mosquito bites from the jungle, anything like that, or do they look like they've just come out of a beauty salon? So with that, I'll leave you on that one and look forward to the next one. Who dares wins.